The world of international rugby league is undergoing a seismic shift, and the 2025 Pacific Championships are at the epicenter of this transformation. But here's where it gets controversial. For the first time, Australia, the traditional powerhouse, is absent, touring England for the Ashes. This absence has created a power vacuum, with New Zealand, Samoa, and Tonga fielding star-studded squads, each eyeing the title. And this is the part most people miss. The exodus of top players from the Kangaroos to represent their heritage nations is not just a trend. It's a revolution reshaping the international game. This weekend marks the beginning of the third Pacific Championships, with New Zealand facing Samoa in the Pacific Cup and Fiji taking on the Cook Islands in the Pacific Bowl. The absence of Australia has leveled the playing field, making this tournament the most competitive yet. Players like Payne Haas and Jeremiah Nanai have chosen to represent Samoa, while Tino Fa'asuamaleau and Hamiso Tabuai Fidau are also considering similar switches. This shift is not new. Jason Taumalolo's move to Tonga in 2017 set the stage, inspiring the likes of Stephen Crichton, Brian To'o, and Jerome Luai to follow suit. The 2025 squads are the strongest ever, with every player in the Cup squads contracted to an NRL club. This has raised questions about the future of international rugby league. Is the traditional dominance of Australia and New Zealand over? With Australia out, the tournament is wide open. Will Haas's leadership propel Samoa to new heights? Can Tonga's formidable forward pack overpower their rivals? Or will New Zealand assert their dominance? In the Pacific Bowl, Fiji and the Cook Islands are fielding talented squads, with players like Jareem Bula, Kurt Donegal, and Brendan Payakura aiming to make their mark. Papua New Guinea, too, is looking to prove itself as a rising force, especially with their entry into the NRL in 2028. But here's the real question. What does this mean for the future of the Kangaroos? The financial incentives to play for Australia have dwindled, with match fees now a fraction of what they once were. This, coupled with the pride in representing one's heritage, is driving more players to choose Tier 2 nations. Robert Toya, for instance, has chosen Tonga over Australia, despite being eligible for both. His emotional response to his first Tonga call-up highlights the deep connection players feel to their heritage. Dylan Brown, set to join the Knights on a record $13 million deal, faces a crucial tournament to prove his worth. His performance in the Pacific Championships will be closely watched, especially as he transitions to a new role at the Knights. Isaiah Katoa, after a stellar NRL season, is poised to lead Tonga to their first Pacific Cup triumph. His growth as a leader and player has been remarkable, and this tournament could be his crowning achievement. However, the scheduling of cup matches on Sundays has sparked debate, particularly in Pacifica communities where church attendance is a priority. Is this a fair compromise for the sake of viewership? Or does it alienate a significant portion of the fan base? Fiji, often the underdog, has named its strongest squad yet and is determined to challenge the top teams. But can they develop the defensive edge needed to compete with the elite? The Cook Islands, still seeking their first win in the Pacific Bowl, are fielding a competitive side with NRL stars like K.L. Iro and Brendan Payakura. Could this be their year to break through? As the tournament kicks off, one thing is clear. International Rugby League has never been more exciting or more competitive. But what does this mean for the traditional powerhouses? And how will the game evolve as more players prioritize heritage over historical allegiances? These are the questions that will shape the future of the sport, and the answers may well be found in the coming weeks. What's your take? Do you think the shift in player allegiances is good for the game? Or does it threaten the traditional order? Let's discuss in the comments.